Mark Hamill has massive meltdown over Donald Trump with an insane woke take. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the TDS syndrome right quick. Welcome back to Views with Hughes. Culture and news. This is Jerome Hughes. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, you all might have heard about this already, but Mark Hamill, the actor that we all know and love as Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, has kicked off a so-called week-long symbolic protest as Donald Trump returns to the presidency, as you all see here on Blue Sky. Now, whether you're a fan of Mark Hamill or not, this is one of those moments where politics and pop culture collide, and it's worth unpacking. So let's go ahead and settle down into this. If you enjoy what's being shared on this video and on this channel, go ahead and smash the like button, share the video far wide across social media, and subscribe to the channel. Click bell notifications so that way you be notified of future uploads and updates. Now, Mark Hamill, y'all know he's never been shy about his political opinions. As a matter of fact, his Blue Sky feed reads that a highlight reel of Hollywood's anti-Trump sentiment, and he's got a right to speak his mind. I mean, this is America after all, but the thing that gets me, and probably a lot of you too, is how celebrities like Mark Hamill use their fame and platforms to push their political agendas, and especially if it's woke. Now, it's like they live in a bubble where they think everyone sees the world the same way they do, okay? Now, granted, Mark Hamill's protest isn't some grand march on Washington or a bold act of civil disobedience. It's actually a social media campaign, as y'all just saw it. Mark Hamill posting daily messages criticizing Donald Trump's policies and actions. Now, call me old-fashioned, but isn't that just virtue signaling, basically? I mean, sharing a few tweets or Instagram posts might make Mark Hamill's followers feel all warm and fuzzy inside, but does it actually change anything? I highly doubt that. But on top of Donald Trump's return, whether you love Donald Trump or hate him, the man's presidency marked a huge turning point for this country. I mean, he's definitely a polarizing figure, no doubt about it, but he's also someone who speaks to a lot of Americans who feel forgotten by the whole political elite. Now, they just see Donald Trump as, you know, a fighter, someone who's willing to go ahead and stand up to the establishment as well as put America first. And guess what? Those people deserve a voice just as much as Mark Hamill does, okay? Now, we got to be honest with that. When woke celebrities like Mark Hamill go on these, you know, public tirades and stuff, it can feel like they're actually dismissing an entire group of Americans. Think about it. How would you feel if someone with millions of followers basically said your beliefs and values were garbage? Now, it's no wonder that there's a huge political divide in this country, and it keeps getting things worse. Instead of just simply trying to understand where the other side is coming from, people just simply go ahead and dig their heels deeper, especially in someone's neck, metaphorically. Now, Mark Hamill is not just any celebrity. He's a woke celebrity who many remembered from Star Wars. Now, for a lot of us, Star Wars isn't just a movie franchise. It's also a part of one's childhood and everything, a cultural touchstone. And seeing someone who played such an iconic, hopeful character turn around and just basically bash half of the country feels like a betrayal, okay? It's also like finding out Santa Claus doesn't believe in Christmas. Then again, I don't believe in Santa Claus either. Now, I'm not saying Mark Hamill needs to go ahead and keep his opinions to himself. I mean, free speech is a two-way street, and he's definitely entitled to his views as much as anyone else. But there's a way to express yourself without actually alienating people. Now, imagine if instead of posting snarky tweets or post on Blue Sky, Mark Hamill just invited someone with a different perspective to have a civil conversation. Now, imagine the kind of example that was set for his millions of fans. We need more of that, you know, dialogue, not division, okay? But unfortunately, woke Hollywood loves to preach about, you know, tolerance and inclusivity, but when it comes to political diversity, it's basically a barren wasteland. Now, how many openly conservative actors do you see getting the same kind of support or platform as their liberal counterparts? Not many, very few. And it's a double standard, plain and simple. Take a look at Gina Carano, for example. Now, if some of you might be thinking, why does this even matter? Who cares what Mark Hamill thinks? And you're on one level, well, you're right. You see, Mark Hamill is just one guy with an opinion, but the thing is, celebrities have major influence. Whether we like it or not, they shape the culture, okay? When someone like Mark Hamill actually go ahead and speaks out, it's not just about, him. It's about the message it sends to the millions of people who actually look up to him, okay? And let's be honest right there. Let's call it a spade. But a lot of people in woke Hollywood and the woke media act like their opinions are just facts. They talk down to anyone who disagrees, painting them as ignorant or bigoted and stuff. But the truth is, most Americans aren't extremists. They're just regular folks who are just simply try to live their lives, pay their bills, and raise their kids, okay? They don't have the time for the political grandstanding. They just simply want solutions, not sound bites, okay? Now, speaking of solutions, a lot of people actually see Donald Trump as a huge champion of free enterprise, someone who's willing to go ahead and fight tooth and nail to bring jobs back to America. Now, remember the promises about renegotiating trade deals and securing the border? Well, whether you agree with Donald Trump's methods or not, those promises actually resonated with millions of Americans who felt left behind by globalization as well as unchecked immigration, okay? And that's just right there, because for all their talk about equality and justice, how many celebrities out there actually understand what's happening in middle America, okay? Especially these woke celebrities. And it's easy to preach about open borders and green energy when you're sitting in a multi-million-dollar mansion in Beverly Hills, okay? But for the single mom in Ohio or Virginia or the factory worker in Michigan, those particular policies actually might mean higher taxes, fewer jobs, and a tougher road ahead. I mean, we've actually witnessed that these past 4 years. And this isn't just about Donald Trump. It's about a broader cultural shift, okay? Over the past few years, we've seen a growing divide between the so-called elites as well as the average American. Now, whether it's, the politicians, journalists, or actors, there's this particular sense that they're out of touch with the struggles of everyday folks. And, when someone like Donald Trump comes along and says that he's fighting for the American people, and it's no wonder people rally behind him, okay? But here's the thing. We can't just simply sit back and blame Hollywood for our problems. At the end of the day, it's up to us to shape the future of this country. That means staying informed, getting involved, and holding our leaders accountable, okay? Whether they're in Washington or on the silver screen, okay? So what can we actually take away from all of this? Well, for starters, it's actually a reminder that we need to be careful about idolizing celebrities, okay? Now, remember, they're human beings just like the rest of us. They're not always going to get it right. It's also a wake-up call to go ahead and focus on what it really matters. Now, instead of just simply getting caught up in the latest Hollywood drama, we got to start also talking about the issues that actually affect our lives, jobs, education, healthcare, national security. Okay. The stuff that keep this country running. Okay. Now, we've become so divided as a nation that it actually feels like we're living in two different countries. Okay. But doesn't even have to be this way. Imagine if we all actually go ahead and made an effort to really listen to each other, not just nodding along or waiting for our turn to talk, but genuinely trying to understand where the other person is coming from. Okay. That's not just a simple pie in the sky idealism, as they say. It's just something that we all can do, starting today. Okay. But you know what? At the end of the day, Mark Hamill's protest is just that, a protest, not going to change the fact that Donald Trump is back in office. And it's also not going to fix the current problems that this country is facing. Okay. But let's be real. It does give us a chance to reflect on how we engage with politics and culture. Now, are we listening to each other, or are we simply just shouting past each other? Are we building bridges, or are we just simply burning them down? Okay, so yeah, here's my challenge to everybody out there, myself included. The next time you see someone like Mark Hamill making headlines, just go ahead and take a step back. Okay, think about why Mark Hamill is saying what he's saying. Okay, now you don't have to agree with Mark Hamill. Okay, but actually try to see where Mark Hamill is coming from. Okay, and if you feel strongly about something that about something, unlike what Ham was doing, just don't complain about it on social media. You know, simply get involved, volunteer, vote, have those tough conversations with your friends and family. Okay, that's something Mark Hamill should be able to do, and that's how we can go ahead and make a difference. Not with, you know, social media posts from Blue Sky and other actions, but simply with action. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts or details you might have in this particular topic. If you enjoy what was shared in this video, go ahead and smash the like button, share the video far wide across social media. And if you have done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.